Hello.
Oh, welcome to the Live with Heidi and Heather show.
May the 4th be with you today.
May the 4th be with you. It is a glorious day.
Amen.
So, uh, um, anyway, we're not here to pump you up. We're here today to grace you with the gloriousness of Star Wars and all of its wisdom.
Mm.
Yes.
Yep. So, honestly, whether or not you are a certified Star Wars geek like Heather and I,
Yes.
we promise
Ta-da!
to leave you with some inspiring tips on how to cultivate your inner badass and or Jedi.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. In my yoga class this morning, the intention today was to cultivate their inner Jedi. And I said, what does that mean? What does that mean? And I said that it means being present. It means using words before force. And then I meant meaning violence, not
Before you
energy.
start sassing at people.
Yeah. And then, and to promote peace. That's like well, at least that's what the purpose of the Jedi Council was.
To
So,
promote peace.
to
So
promote,
I
to
would
promote
like
peace.
to I think we should capitalize on that or add to it. We could say promote more like inner peace also. Like
Yes.
cultivating that inner peace and like connection and happiness inside of ourselves.
Yes, because if the only thing we can control is ourselves.
Mm.
Yes.
Illusion of control. I learned from my first marriage. So now you know it's first. So there was more than one. There's only illusion of control over other people in your life.
Yes.
You're like, no, I got my husband. It's this taken care of. No, it's just your illusion of control.
Yes.
Gotta dial it back in if you want the real sanity.
And then from what I understand, when you have children, I'm trying to find a place for my phone.
Mm.
That illusion of control really goes out the window. Just like pff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the whole like crying baby thing. Like you're on the plane, there's a crying baby, and like someone next to you is like, God, why can't they control their kid? It's because they can't.
Yeah.
Like you can guess what your kid needs. Like, but what if like the whole air pressure situation, right?
Yeah.
All
And
whack.
what if they have an ear infection? Oh
Yeah,
goodness.
and no amount of like giving them there's no chewing gum for babies other than like maybe like breast milk, but like I don't know how comfortable you feel whipping it out on the plane, you know what I mean? That's a personal comfort
It is
question.
that is. I know my sister said when she was on a plane, and I believe it was Anders that was crying. She said somebody gave her a dirty look, and she was like, "I'm not happy either." Like, nobody is happy in this situation. I would stop it if I could. Give me some grace, please.
Yeah. Yeah. I always tell my kids, like, and sometimes at the end of the day, like right before my wife and I go to sleep, like one of us will say, like, I'm doing the best I can. And the other one will say, I know, me too.
Oh, I love that. I love
Like,
that.
we're trying our darndest. So Heather, how are you taking care of yourself today?
Oh, today I am teaching yoga, Jedi yoga to so the library that I went to growing up, I do things for them sometimes, and I am teaching it to the teenagers, the young adults, Yoga Jedi today. And then after that, I'm going to see Elizabeth Gilbert talk.
Wow.
So it's an eventful taking care of myself day. It's not usually I did some yoga and I drank some tea. No, it's more active. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
you got the action steps today.
I'm filling up my inner nerd today on the 4th. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yay. Well, I guess today I was gonna be really good at getting my work done, and then my computer wasn't charged at all this morning. Oopsies. So
Oh dear.
I practiced compassion because this has happened maybe one other time. And I was like, all right, this is the lesson I need to learn. So I plug in my computer before I go to bed, like recharge my computer, recharge myself. You know, we
Yes.
both need to be taken care of. So I hung out on the bed with my dogs and we had a nice nap and then we went for a nice walk. So
Nice. Nice.
that I would say that pretty much that helped kind of get me back. And I have some lavender tea here. Some
Well
nice
done.
soothing lavender tea. I know I kind of wish I had like a Jedi cup for everything. And then I was trying to think of like there's not a lot like I need to find a super Star Wars like affirmation pun. And so the only one I
Oh,
could think of was Yoda best.
doing your Yoda best?
Yoda best. Yeah.
Yes.
Like so maybe I can get a cup that says Yoda best.
Oh,
Or something
yeah.
like that. But this is what I got so far. I got the stormtrooper and then I got may the force guide you in a new hope sustain.
I love that. I love that.
So you
Hi,
got a
Watson.
proud moment from the past week?
You know, my life's been a little crazy lately. I feel like I'm treading water. I just have a lot going on. And so I'm going to say I'm proud that I just keep going. And there hasn't been any like huge calamities yet. Come on. You want to come up here? Watson and Ember are chasing each other around. And so
Oh.
there's a little bit of like do 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 over here distracting me. Well, come here. Come on, Watson. You want to come up on my lap? No. Okay.
That's all good.
Yes. So, what are you proud of this week, Heidi?
So the last couple weeks there's been something new in my life that I haven't had for the last couple of years since the pandemic started, and I kind of forgot about it. And I since putting it back in my life, I realized how much I actually need it. So I've been swimming.
Oh, I love that. I love
So
that.
we have an indoor aquatic center, and I've been going there. Oh, hello, Watson.
Come on.
Somebody wants to get in on the Jedi action.
Yes.
Totally.
So you've been going.
Yeah, so I've been going swimming a couple times a week, and so this is what I think of when I think of grounding. Like coming back from swimming and even in the practice of swimming, like as I'm swimming, I was like, oh, I could die in here. Like that's how calm and peaceful
Mm,
I am. Like
yeah.
there is little boundary between like how I feel and how the water feels. Like it's just some comforting the experience is just like a little slice of heaven, and I come
That's
back from it, and I am even more patient than I
that's
was before.
interesting.
And so it
Yes.
expands all my Jedi qualities. And
Yeah.
so I don't know if it's because like my moon sign is water. And so maybe knowing what your moon sign is or your sun sign is, like finding something to do with that sign. Like I'm a
Mm,
fire sign for my sun sign. And so I burn a lot of incense and that helps me a lot. And
yeah.
then the swimming always just like being in water, like next to water is okay, but being in water is the best. Like always, just like so. I'm proud that I got a pool pass for my local pool for the summer, so I can
Nice.
keep doing my swimming.
I love that. I love that. Are
Yay!
you a bath person too? Do you like
I am a
baths?
bath person. Yes, I will. I am the only. Well, thankfully, because we only have one bathroom and there's four of us, I'm the only person who likes baths in my house. So yeah, I normally don't do them in the warmer months, but in the cooler months, I've known to take like I will take an after like at early afternoon during the week, and I'll be like, this is my bath time, and just submerge myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice and chill, nice and
It
chill.
is chill.
All right, so I didn't actually write down a banner for our the
Jedi-ness?
event, the Jedi journey. All right. Okay, so anyone who is watching this now and or the replay, please know that we want to know how you are taking care of yourself
Mhm.
and what you are proud of. And then we're going to talk about later we'll talk about your favorite scenes and stuff.
Yes. The
'Cause,
gloriousness.
yeah. Or even if
So,
you don't have a favorite team, maybe a favorite character if that's like too much.
oh
But
gosh, you'd have to pick a favorite character. Now, a lot of men in the world would say Han Solo, hands down, Han Solo. So, I don't know. I would probably pick Yoda. Although I have to say, I love Darth Vader too. He's a
oh,
complicated character. He's one of the most fleshed out bad guys that I have
he
ever known.
is. And
Mhm.
one of the things I always like is when writers take the time to flesh out the people, the unsavory characters are like the antagonists, because you
Mhm.
start to see their humanity and you're like, everyone has the light and the dark.
Yes, everyone has the light and the dark.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna nerd out for just a second because I've read the comic books too. And there's this scene in Star Wars and that with the Darth Vader comic. It's after he's recently turned into Darth Vader. He's like super powerful. Spoiler alert. And he's on this planet and the rebel forces have completely surrounded him. It's just him. Like he has his lightsaber and the force and him. And like all of these planes and tanks and well, Star Wars tanks, and everybody surrounds him. And they're like, Darth Vader, you're surrounded. You need to surrender. And he's like, he just looks around and he goes, all I see is fear and dead men. And then he just like with the force, like crashes all the planes down to the earth and everything. And that's the moment when you're like, oh, Darth Vader's really powerful
That's someone who
and
really
really
believes in
scary.
themselves.
Yes.
Like, he has other issues. He has other limiting beliefs, but he does completely believe in
Yes.
himself in that
Yes,
way.
he
Yeah.
does. Yes, he does. I love that. I'm going to share that with my husband tonight. You know, one thing about Darth Vader, I can say he believes
Well,
in himself.
yeah, he has good positive self-belief.
Yes. All right.
Cool beans.
So
All right, so we are
the
gonna talk about let me click on there it is. We're gonna talk about the Jedi journey. All right.
Jedi journey.
The Jedi
Yes.
journey. Okay.
Specifically about Luke Skywalker. Yes.
Yeah, so we're gonna kind of go through this in terms of Luke Skywalker's journey. So we're going to hit a little old school, late 70s, early 80s on you. And if you need a
Mhm.
refresher, Heather's going to be here as
Well,
I feel like you're the main Star Wars geek here. I love Star Wars, but I don't have all the details. And so we're going to kind of talk about his journey. She's going to give you like a quick recap. We're going to do a quick recap of kind of like what his journey was like.
mhm.
And then I'm going to break it down for you, because there is something that you can do to tap your inner Jedi. So at the end of
Mhm.
this, I'll share a little bit more about how you can elaborate on what we talk about today.
Yes.
So,
So his journey actually follows the classic hero's journey, which if Joseph Campbell. Joseph Campbell is the one who really delves into
mm,
the hero's journey, and it's just a good thing to know if you guys out there in the world, because it can apply to your own life. It's a fun thing to sit and go, how have I gone through the hero's journey? And you can go through
mhm.
it numerous times in your life.
And we all do it. And you
Yes.
can be going through one and then just kinda hit on another one and then another
Hmm.
one. And
Yep.
depending on, like, the awareness that you get kinda rolls you through the journey. And it's the hero's journey is what makes stories good.
Hmm.
This is like a formula that he discovered, Campbell discovered.
That's in a majority of stories, including like Jesus, like
Mhm.
not that Jesus is a story, but you understand what I'm saying. Like it's
Yeah.
it's interwoven into life, is what we're
Yes.
saying, which
It's
is why
part
it
of
makes a
our
good
our
story.
journey in life so that we can evolve.
Yes. So the first one is the call to adventure. And then there is finding a mentor, and then you introduce these challenges, which creates this transformation. And then you return home with new wisdom, new skills. So this all starts with Luke on his planet being kind of whiny. And I would say the line, but I can't. Um, but I was going to go into blah, 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 and get the catalytic converters or whatever he says. I mean, on a
Why
scale of
do I
one,
always have to deal with all the swamp rats?
yeah.
Yeah.
Why are my family water farmers? It's horrible. So anyway, I just want to share for all of you super nerds out there. I get it. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you knowing exactly what quote I had and like all the details, and 1 being somebody who's never seen Star Wars, I'm probably a 6. So just give me some grace. That's all I'm asking. Because I know you all out there. Anyway, so his call to adventure is which happens when the droids land on the planet and his aunt and uncle get killed and his mentor shows up, Obi-Wan, and he has nothing left. And one of the big things is a lot of times they're orphans. They have nowhere else to go. So anyway,
Yeah, there's
so this
usually there's some instigating event that,
instigating event.
yeah, it
Yes.
means you the status quo cannot remain the same. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You gonna pull down your, hoodie strings and hide? Are you gonna go, bust it out?
Yeah. And
Mhm.
so Luke, because he is an adventurer and he has been restless this whole time, he's like, yes, let's go. And his call to adventure is, I'm going to help deliver this message that was given. Obi-Wan, no, he gets Obi-Wan's message. Then they have to go out and help the rebellion. That's what we're trying to say here.
Mhm.
So anyway, that's what happens. And then the challenge is, oi, there's lots of challenges, but these are the things, these obstacles where you learn self-confidence. You learn that you can handle anything. You fail and then learn how to do better. And these are the
Mhm.
challenges that happen, And oh gosh, I can name lots of challenges that happened to Luke on his journey. There were lots of them, like being abducted by an abominable snowman. That's one.
Oh, that was
Um, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that was one. Almost getting into a bar fight. That was one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, those weren't even the 2 that came to my,
What
but
that he got involved with a smuggler, but it ended up out
yeah.
okay. What
Yeah.
were you thinking of? What were your challenges? I mean, there's the big one, Darth
Yeah,
Vader.
I'm I'm actually blanking right now, so
That's
I'm gonna pass,
okay. It pass.
um, but I was thinking in terms of, well, I was thinking probably more in terms of me and stuff. But yeah,
Oh, I see.
so we all have to go through all these painful challenges. And I think one of him, I guess one of the ones that he had to learn and grow through is like kind of like learning where his place is and being comfortable
Mhm.
with himself.
Yes.
And especially because he kind of like they kind of started to develop this could be a love interest through these scenes, and then in the end you realize it's not possible to have
It can
love
never
interest.
be.
It can never be.
It can
And
never be.
so yeah,
And
so that
also, he's
challenge.
training to be a Jedi, and a Jedi is supposed to have non-attachment. I mean, you have
Mhm,
friends, but you have an you don't attach,
mhm.
so and that was a big challenge for him was becoming a Jedi. There's lots to learn about yourself. It's not an easy path. So,
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
so through that he faces his fears um and faces up those challenges and faces the big bad. He has his moments, the dark night of the soul.
Yeah, so like the big painful moment where, it's kind of another one of those cliff moments where you're like, are they going to go forward or not go forward?
Mhm. Yep. Yep. And then so like for example, I'm going to bring Jesus back because it's a story that everybody knows. Yosemite, the night before, that was his dark night of the soul. He didn't want to go forward, but it was like, I'm doing this. So,
Mhm.
and I think that actually Luke had, like, I would say his big night of the soul, or dark night of the soul, was when he fought Darth Vader the first time, and he loses his hand and
Mhm.
learns some information, and his whole world just became something he didn't think it was. It just shifted. Yeah,
Yeah, he saw it was like the curtain. He saw the man behind
he
literally
saw the
like the
man
man
behind the
behind the
curtain.
curtain.
He learned some truths.
And he learned something about him, like himself and
Hmm.
his own turmoil. And so that he had a choice of like, he can just go with the turmoil or not go, or try to forge a new path and learn something
Yes.
more like him.
Yeah.
So thank you for
So
that recap. Wow,
yeah.
that was
So then, well, I just want to share real quick. Then he learns from Yoda, who was his other mentor, and then he defeats the rebellion, and then he goes home. But I say his return home isn't a place. His return home is to himself and to his friends.
mm.
So,
Yes, yes, always at the end, and I don't know if this is because I'm a highly sensitive person and I always like I always view, like, when people are all cleaned up and their hair is neat and tidy, that means everything is good and well, and, like, they've learned. So, like, in the end, when his hair, like, it's like he combed his hair finally and took a shower, and he put on his rightful Jedi clothes,
Mhm.
right? And that kinda signified, like, he had up leveled his game and himself. He's like, "Yes, I accept who I am. I'm wearing the clothes. I'm walking the walk. I'm confident. Like, even my hair looks good now
Yeah.
because it's more me."
Yes.
You know?
And he's not whiny.
Yes, he's taking more responsibility,
Mhm. And
which
his
is nice.
confidence, I mean, by Return of the Jedi, his confidence is huge, and he, like, shows up and he kicks some butt.
Yeah, he even ventures into wear black as a Jedi. Because I
Yeah.
always thought he was gonna be wearing white, like, from the first movie or so, but then boom,
Mhm.
he's a Jedi wearing black, and he's like, "This is part who I am," right? Because he acknowledges his inner parts of light and dark, and he's okay
Yes.
with it.
Yes.
It's
He
okay.
is
He doesn't
okay
get
with
too
it.
attached to either.
Yes. Yeah.
I like that. Cool
I like
beans.
it. Cool beans
Alright.
indeed.
So, um, so not quite the similar kind of hero's journey, but, in the book that I recently wrote and published for crying
Why
out
isn't it
loud.
Oh, you mean just because you didn't become a
Yeah.
Jedi?
Yeah, I didn't get, like, a lightsaber or anything, but I guess I got my own kinda lightsaber.
Yeah, you
So
became a mama bear.
so, yeah, I became a big old mama bear.
Mhm.
I owned my mama bearness and, my gay mama bearness,
Mhm.
and I realized that, if I was able to go on this hero's journey, then anybody can go on this hero's journey. And there's kind of like a secret sauce to it. So I want to kind of break it down into four pieces of the
Mhm.
sauce. And Heather's going to share a little bit about what that piece meant like for Luke Skywalker.
Mhm.
So, and Heather, like, if you want to share anything, I know we're talking mostly about Luke, but if you want to share about your journey, or if you want to just stick it to Luke, that is
If
cool with
if
me.
something, like, pops into my mind, I'll share it.
Okay,
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
cool.
Yeah.
So the first thing that I realized that I needed in my journey to get anywhere was to kind of transform myself. Obviously, there's the taking responsibility, but it's like to adopt a mindset that is going to get me somewhere other than just spiraling down the drain.
Yes.
And so the mindset, the different pieces of the mindset are courage, patience, compassion, curiosity, and consistency. And
And
so
mindfulness.
the mindful of resilient mindset.
Mhm.
And so, um, Heather, do you wanna share? You don't have to share about all of them, but you could share, like, a little piece of Luke's journey as it relates to those. Like, did those
I
show up?
I would say the biggest one that shows up that I think made the most difference for him was the compassion part, because
Ooh,
he had to learn compassion for himself once he learned his family history, and, the idea of "Hey, hey, hey, hold on. Watson's chewing on my yoga block."
ooh.
"Dude, are you serious right now? You're interrupting."
Are you gonna go get your yoga
I
block?
think I'm gonna go get the yoga block.
Yeah,
Hold on,
that's a
it's my
great idea.
favorite yoga block.
And then Heather can come
Dude.
back and show us
Oh,
her awesome shirt
you
that
little
she is
son
wearing
of a
today.
gun. Look, I don't know if you can see, there's
Oh,
little
yeah, chew
bite marks.
marks. We got chew marks.
Oh.
Wow.
Anyway, okay, so and then the other part that also I think was the game changer in the whole story is that he had compassion for Darth Vader and could see that even though Darth Vader had done very, very bad things, very horrible things, that there was still good inside of him and that he was kind of struggling on the inside, and Luke knew because of his compassion that that was the way to save Darth Vader and bring him back to his humanity. So that compassion part I think was like the key to
The
everything in
juggernaut.
Luke's journey and in the end of the story, like the whole
Yeah.
solution to the story.
That's interesting. Because I thought you were gonna say, like, like courage or consistency, because when he went through training with Yoda, there
Mhm.
was a lot of scary moments and a lot of moments where he was a big whiner pants,
Yep.
and he just
Yep.
wasn't like, you could see like, is this going to be a makeover scene, or is this going to be like the start of somebody else's hero's journey and he's going to give up and like live in
Yeah.
the swamps with
I
Yoda
Yeah, "We can't
forever?
get the plane out of the
Oh my
swamp."
god, it's like stuck forever. Yeah, help me. So, I do want to say, I was just thinking about the whininess, and a lot of times when my daughter gets overwhelmed at
Mhm.
home, with like school or schedule or whatever, she'll kind of like descend into this kind of melting puddle of
Oh.
whininess. And when I and then sometimes my wife will sit with her, but then I usually come in and I'll sit next to her and I'll look at her and I'll say, "Barbara, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had a hard day."
Yeah,
And
as
then you
opposed
know
to
what?
trying to solve it
Yeah.
or yeah.
So that compassion and that recognition piece is so key to be able to just kind of like refocus in that serenity, not just
Mhm.
inside, but you can also you use it to help others, right? Luke
Right.
used it to help his
'Cause it
father.
it's so and then specifically in the way that you're using it, you're letting her be heard. You had a bad day, and it's okay to be upset,
Mhm.
you know? It's okay to have feelings about it. So, yeah, I hear you. You had a bad day. Yeah, that's huge. That's
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna kill him.
Oh, is he chewing it again?
He's doing on another one. No, this one's here,
Oh.
but he's actually tearing it apart.
Oh,
Sorry,
wow.
guys.
Okay, I
Watson,
am gonna move on
dude.
to the second part while she, wrangles the big
You have a
fluffy
box
cat
here.
eating the
You
blue
have a
foamy
box. Look,
block that
I
used
gave
to be her yoga block. So the second part
I
to
should probably turn off the microphone when I do that. Sorry.
okay. Oh, yeah, so now we have at least 50 chew points. It kinda looks like someone was had an angry, like, steak knife maybe
Yeah.
and started stabbing
You know what? There's a solution to this. We're just
stabbing
gonna
here.
set him outside. It's my little thing. There it is.
Okay. All right. So the second piece of the Jedi journey has to do with support. So a lot of times we feel like we have to do everything ourselves, and we are, like I like to say, we're human and we were given mouths and ears so we can listen and talk. So we are meant to be supportive and supported. It's kind of like lovable, loving, and loved. So we are also able to be supported, supporting, and supportive. I guess that's too many supportive words.
There's never too many support
Support
words.
words. So part of that journey is being part of the journey, if you want to move forward, is being able to reach out for and find people who are trusted adults, and accept the help. That
Mhm.
is so key. I
Mhm.
mean, we can spend like the vast majority of our lives just being isolated and thinking we have to do everything ourselves. But life, honestly, is so much richer and so much better when we have that support network and we have the friends. In
Mhm.
so in my journey, I had 3 different kinds of friends. I had, well, what I call the cheerleader, so someone who really believed in me, like, no matter what. Like the person who would drive me home when I was drunk, that kind of friend. And then I had, the sleuth, so I had a pastor, he would give me, like, "Oh, what about this? What about this?" And so someone who can, like, kind of be skeptical and not always say, like, "Yeah, whatever you say is great. Whatever you say is great." Like, someone who can actually offer, like, "What about this? And what about that?" And like, you completely respect your opinion and their opinion, and you don't feel bad when like you have a difference in opinions. So that's a great. And the third one is a joy opener, like someone who might be able to like introduce you to someone that you want to know, or introduce you to
Mhm.
someone at the new, like a new job, or um spoiler alert, in my book, like this woman Stacy, she was my joy opener, and I realized that I was gay, and then she told me she was gay, and so like she became my path to like kind of exploring like what that meant for me, even though
Mhm.
I mean, I spent so many like weeks just sitting in my pew at church being like, is this what gay people do? is like gay women go to church in like Birkenstocks and like baggy cargo shorts and like button up short sleeve shirts, and like they all love like worshiping like Jesus and God and stuff. Is like this, what is that what being lesbian means? Because I had no reference point.
Right.
No, but Stacy gave me another reference point. It's like, oh, this is what it could look like also. So
Nice.
what did that support look like for Luke?
Well, Luke had his friends first and foremost, that helped him and saved him sometimes just as much as he saved them. And then he had Yoda, but I think more importantly, he had Obi-Wan, even though Obi-Wan was gone.
I feel like
Obi-Wan would
Obi-Wan
come and talk to him.
was his key friend.
Hmm. Yeah. So, but there's something to be said, like you were talking about, Heidi, and I think Luke would agree with this, that knowing that you have that support system, those people that are there for you, is key. You know, it's a huge thing for growth. And I always said, like, especially I realized this when I was in high school, that as long as you have one friend, you don't have to be the most popular kid in school or anything. As long as you have one friend that you can count on and that you can talk to and stuff, then that's all you need. That's really all you need. And I know you've talked about the three different types of friends, and I agree.
Those can all be the same
Those
person.
can all be the same person. Yes.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
so just having one person can mean everything.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
And in the start of my journey, I only had like the one. I had
Mhm.
one.
Yeah, that's true.
And
You did.
I just had one, and then I kind of worked up from there as my confidence grew,
Mhm.
and it's going to be trial and error. We're not, our peculiar genius geekiness isn't meant for everybody. And so you got to
Mhm.
just kind of walk around, be like, our nerdiness is compatible.
Yeah.
No? Okay.
You
All right.
got
Have a nice day.
you got to find your people, and the only way you're going to
Mhm.
find your people
Mhm.
is by learning to be yourself.
Yes.
So, because you have to shine your light out and vibrate, and that person's like, "Oh, I kind of like your vibration. We can get along." So,
I like that.
like my example is my good friend Jamie. We were carpooling to a class together. A mutual friend had kind of brought us together, and so we were carpooling, and it was a good like 50-minute drive. And she just seemed a little too goody two shoes to me. Goody
Mhm.
two shoes. There we go. And we were talking, and all of us, I don't even remember what we are talking about it, but all of a sudden, and excuse my language, people, all of a sudden I hear her go, "Dirty bitches," and I was like, "Whoa." And then from there, I knew that she wasn't just like all Pollyanna. Like I knew that she had some grit to her, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I could dig this girl." And we've been friends.
Finally, I get a
We
taste of the
the real girl,
nerdiness.
like she
Mhm.
was she was being very proper around me. And
Mhm.
then she opened up and I was like, "Okay, she's real. I like that."
Yeah. Yeah, I recently went to a business women's retreat thing, and there was this woman, and she and I like immediately clicked, and we just started swearing a lot around each other. And so this is like, there's all these women who are like networking and being like, and then we're just like, having a drink and we're just cussing. And I'm like, this person could be part of the inner circle very quickly. And, I have like a few friends, right? I don't have like this giant circle, but I have a few friends,
Mhm.
that I talk to regularly. I was like, she could quickly make it into like the regular.
Yeah,
And, because
the inner circle.
we had so many, our vibrations were similar on many, many levels, and we were different enough that she was very intriguing. Um,
Yeah, I like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, so it's good.
And then my example of the opposite of that, which is the most blatant example I've ever had in my life. Like
Ooh.
all the gamer guys, all of my husband's friends that they all game together, there's wives. And so the wives meet each other through parties and stuff like that. And one of them, she's a very nice woman and everything, but and not but and when I met her, I tried to talk to her. I could tell she was trying to talk to me, and then we both were like, Yeah, okay. Like, we just instantly, like, had this moment of,
Like,
"This isn't gonna work." Like like, I do not get you at all. I was kinda like just kept trying to tap in, and it was just like radio silence, and but she was getting it from me too, and we just kind of both acknowledged it. We've never talked negative about each other or anything, but
you're just like,
yeah, I've never reached out and said, "Hey, let's go out."
yeah, it's like I'm a 1, 2, 3 person and you're an XYZ person, and
Yeah,
never
and
we're not even in the same alphabet. So,
yeah.
and I
So, and
think,
I've had some of the other friends go, "How come you don't hang out with so and so?" And I'm like, "I don't have anything against her. I just don't get her, and I don't think she gets
yeah,
me."
it's not your time yet. Maybe there will be a time where, you know, maybe things will happen and you guys will eventually like grow
You
in,
know what?
um,
Anything's possible. You're right.
you know, you
Anything's
know,
possible.
that's why I tell my kids, like, you're not like when my son, he was very sad when like he broke up with his first girlfriend, and I was just like, well, maybe it's not your time yet. Maybe it wasn't the
Mhm,
right time. Because they always say that with relationships, right? Like romantic ones, like
mhm,
it could have been the right person, but it wasn't the right time, or it wasn't the right, you know,
mhm.
place in your life or whatever, or the situation in your life. And so it could be many different that. So
Excuse
bless
me.
you.
Oy.
So, all right. So let's move on. So the third piece of the Jedi journey that I like, I call it how not to give in to your hate. So
Mm,
so it's really easy to kind of flow through life and just be in that right reactionary mode. Like if you're gonna be mad at me, I'm gonna be mad at you, and that. But that makes your life like a roller coaster, right? Because
mhm.
then you're absorbing all the emotions of people around you, and you're spitting out similar ones, and so you're just gonna go like up and down and up and down and up and down, right? You're not gonna have that baseline, just kind of calm serenity. And so part of the journey, I think, that I had to master is I had to understand, like I had to master my emotions. I had to understand my emotions. I had a lot of like shame and guilt, and I had anger. Like I had all, but I had to step back from reacting and
Mhm.
try to figure out like what those things were. I couldn't even put like words to them. I was like happy, sad, or mad, right? So I started out with the 3. And then so to be able to elaborate on that, I had to come to an understanding of that. And it's so easy to get consumed when we're in the moment, and like, but I think it's great to feel positive feelings and negative feelings in the moment, but it's not good to like, spew them all over other people.
Mm-mm.
That's
No.
not, I don't think that's like. So, do you want to talk about like um that in your
Wow.
life or in the Jedi journey?
Hate is an interesting thing for me as a 9 on the Enneagram, living with an 8.
Okay.
His first emotion is anger.
Mm,
And, for me, it it's a I anger is the one emotion that I have a hard time tuning into because it scares me.
mm-hmm.
And so part of my feelings parfait has been to learn that anger is a a a good thing, and that it lets me know that a boundary has been breached or an
Mm-hmm.
injustice has happened. It's not something to be scared of, it's a warning sign.
Yeah, it's like
Uh,
information. This is a
mhm.
spicy packet of information for you.
Yes. So that's where the hate had to become a part of my feelings parfait. Otherwise, the anger, I should say, is actually what made me shut down and
Mm,
put everything else away, as opposed to opening up and being like, okay, I'm angry. So why am I angry? What's going on?
I
So,
love that. I have a similar experience as an Enneagram too with anger. I've gotten a lot better at standing when in a place that has a lot of anger. So I don't normally express it like you, but like I can be in an environment with so my wife is a 1 and my son is a 6. And so there can be a lot of anger in our household because they sometimes butt heads.
mhm.
And so I used to be like a smoother over, right? And I never used it as an informer. I use it as a, "Oh, I'm not doing a good enough job." it's time for me to make some changes to make everyone happy and
Mhm.
nurture everyone in my Enneagram 2 fashion. And so
Yes.
now having that, not being in the reaction mode, but being in, being able to observe, like, there's anger around me or there's anger inside of me. Like, how can I stand in this environment or be in this environment and be okay and not let it break me down to the core and make me like want to bake everyone a cake. Can we all just eat a
Yeah.
piece cake? It's gonna be fine. Just
Yeah. So I'll
yeah.
just eat cake. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I often think, like, I find it amazing how I ended up codependent and not in Overeaters Anonymous. Like, I guess that was, like, the way in which I was programmed was more in the codependent
Mm,
realm, but I feel
yeah.
like it's a fine line right there.
Yeah.
So, because I often, like, show my love and if emotions through food and through creating food. Like, I was like, "Oh, this Sunday, I wanna invite women out who are moms or not moms, and I'm gonna, like, bake them, pumpkin chocolate chip cookies."
Yeah.
Like, that's like, I was like, "I don't know, we have a lot of pumpkin in the freezer. What am I supposed to do with that?" Cookies, I guess.
I'd feed it to the dogs.
Oh, the
Um,
pumpkin?
yeah. So with Luke, I think again that moment on The Empire Strikes Back where he's just lost his hand, he's hanging there. That is the pivotal difference
Mm.
between Darth Vader and Luke, in that Darth Vader always went to his anger, always, and that brought up the hatred, and he didn't feel anything else.
So he
And
let
then
his anger drive the bus, his bus.
his anger drove the bus, and then that grew into hatred to everybody.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, he had a bad dude who was making him believe that everybody was against him, and that didn't help. Um,
That
but
isolated him further. Yeah, like, he didn't have
right,
that support network per
yeah,
se.
yeah. And he's like, Jedi Council hates me. They don't trust me. They won't make me a Jedi. So then, then, but Luke, he is like at the bottom. He's just learned some bad things about his history. His arm's just been cut off. He lost his battle, and what he says is, Obi-Wan, why didn't you tell me? Like, he's sad and he just is confused. He's in pain, but he's not angry. He doesn't let that anger and hatred come up. Instead, he says, who can I call on to help me? And he calls on
Mhm.
Leia.
Yeah, he taps
So
into his support.
yeah,
Yeah,
so he used
I
his
love
feelings
that.
parfait to get through that moment and come out the other side alive,
I love that.
literally. Yeah.
I love that.
So
Yeah.
meanwhile, Darth Vader growing up was like, the Sand People killed my mom. I'm going to kill all of them.
Yeah, you're all gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so he never was able to have that pause, right? To have that Jedi pause. He just
Mm-mm.
immediately would react like, "You guys caused me pain, I'm gonna cause you pain."
Yeah. And a true Jedi will recognize their feelings, not necessarily express them, but will recognize them and process them and understand what it means. Yeah.
Yes. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Alright, so the last piece of the Jedi puzzle is, taking brave action steps. So, like, you have, like, the support network and you figure out how not to give in to your hate, and then you have this resilient mindset, but none of it works if you're not gonna go anywhere. If Luke had just, like, ended the movie, like, in training with Yoda, it would've been very boring, and the
Mm-hmm.
hero's journey would not have been completed
Mm-mm.
because he wouldn't have been right tested and gone through the paces. So yeah, so in my journey I had to confront my husband at the time. It was
Mm-hmm.
just like I was doing all this work and all this work, and finally, like, I remember, like, I'm really good at avoiding, like, potentially angry situations, and I'm pretty sure I was for a while. Like, I don't know, probably about years I was in this marriage avoiding the anger, and finally, like, I was like, "All right, enough is enough. I see the door to joy is open and I'm out. I'm out." And so you had to have that instigating,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And um so what do you think was Luke's, like, his big moment when he took his brave action steps? I feel like he took a lot of different steps, but was there, like, a key one?
I think the key one is in the end of Return of the Jedi, where he has defeated Darth Vader, and the Emperor says, "Now kill him," because that's the final thing that would transform him to the dark side. And instead, he throws his lightsaber to the side and says, "Nope, I'm a Jedi now," knowing full well that the Emperor could kill him, which he tried to do. But that to me was his moment of standing in his truth, regardless of what could happen. And that's
Mm.
and in I don't think it's just Enneagram wisdom. I think in just general, that's called right action. When you
Ooh.
know that what you need to do is the right thing, and that because you believe so much it's the right thing, all the consequences that could happen no longer matter. That you so like when I broke off my engagement, um so I just everything in my body knew, if I don't if I stay in this relationship, I will lose who I am,
Wow.
and so, and I mean, uh the event place had the deposit had been put down, people have been notified, the invitations hadn't gone out yet, but like all of these things had already happened. And I just
Wow.
everything that was going to have to unravel. I mean, not as much as a divorce like you went
Yeah.
through, but still, like, there was a lot that was going to be lost and destroyed. But it was like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's Even if I have to scorch the earth to get there, I know that this is what I need to do.
Hmm.
So that's right action, and that's blowing up the Death Star.
Yeah. And a lot of times that right action is, it could be going against like what like other people are telling you to do. That's
Yeah.
like
Oh,
that's an
absolutely.
inside job. Like,
Mhm.
on the inside, like I when I was let go from my second job, there was a period I knew I was like, if I take these steps, I have probably 90% chance of being fired.
Mhm.
But it's like, if I don't take these steps, then I'm not going to be myself.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I have to take these steps. That's just, no way around it. And I remember like discussing finances. I was like, this could happen now. It could happen in a few months. I don't know.
Mhm.
And like, because it's like, I knew it was going to happen, but that was like what you, like, that's a right
Like, there was
action.
no other
There's
choice.
no other choice. The choice, like,
Mhm.
I might as well not exist if I don't do this route. Like,
Mhm.
that is what, when you get to that path in the road, and if you see like there's really only one choice that you need to take, and the other one is going to take your soul away.
Yeah.
That's
Literally take your
one of
soul
those
away.
choices. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, it's
That's
huge. But
yeah.
the thing is, and I know you and I have talked about this before in other podcasts, but I'm going to say it again. Like, once you make that choice and you choose yourself and your own survival first, you can never go back. Like,
Mm.
there's just, it becomes like this barrier that's there. I think you described it as a wall, Heidi, where you get back against that wall and you're like, "Oh, here's the wall." Nope. And you're like,
We got
"We're
we
going
got to
forward."
go we got to go forward. We got to go forward. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's when you and I were talking about, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Yes. Mhm.
When, he and Diggory were running for the goblet, and behind them, the whole, like, scary, like, labyrinth hedge was gonna, like, envelop them, so they had to, like, bust it forward because they knew backward they were just gonna get eaten or turned into, like, zombified by,
Mhm. Oh, that's right, 'cause that would eat them up. It would be like,
yeah, it would just eat them up with the vines. So they
yeah.
didn't wanna, suffer the same fate, so they knew the only way is forward, and so that's kinda, yeah, so there's no way back, from that,
Mm-mm.
or you
Mhm.
suffer. It's kinda like you suffer in somewhat of an internal death, and it takes a probably much longer. I think
Mm.
I was fairly comatose zombie inside for a long time
Mhm.
because I would always be making choices that were not the right choice. And
Yeah.
so they slowly would like desiccate me, yeah, into the hedge. So,
Yeah.
but finally I was like, fuck this. I'm gonna run. I'm running for the goblet.
Yes.
It's time.
And
It's
you
time.
can't, yeah, and once you feel that, when it approaches to you again in life, you're like, "Oh, I remember that hedge. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
It's
Nope."
go time. It's go
Yeah.
time.
It's go
I will do
time.
anything. Anything you want me to eat, bugs, whatever. Maybe not that, but just like It's like, so then that helps you also stretch your courage too. You're just like, I could take this scary leap ahead, or I could suffer a slow death in the hedge. Like, you're just going to take the jump because you already know what the hedge feels like.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Cool beans. All right. So we are going to, we're 50 minutes in. So we're going to do a quick attitude of gratitude, and then we're going to do the Yoda thing. Oh,
Okay.
yay. Okay.
Yes. Oh, I thought we were at the
where's
Yoda thing for
attitude of
some
gratitude?
reason. Put it aside. I am grateful for this glorious May the 4th. I haven't had such a fun May the 4th since when I was teaching in the yoga studios. And I was like, it's May the 4th, people. And I like brought in the Star Wars soundtrack, and I was like, going to Jedi 2 instead of Warrior 2. Like,
Yeah.
so,
I
and
like
everybody
it.
was just like,
I would have done Jedi 1, 2, and 3
oh
if they would
gosh.
have given you the attitude.
Yeah. And somebody, one of the other yoga teachers, she brought in, she had come on. Oh my gosh. Han Solo's buddy.
Oh, she had a Chewie?
Chewbacca. She had a Chewbacca that it was a big kind of stuffed animal. You'd squeeze it and it'd go roar. It
Oh,
was awesome. It
oh.
was a great day. And, but I have to remember that when yogis practice, they look like they hate the world. And then afterwards, they're like, that was great. That was so much fun. But like in the moment, they look like they hate you. They hate what they're doing, and they hate the world. And I'm always like, smile.
Business.
And they're like, serious. Yoga serious. All right. Yoga is not serious, people.
Yeah,
Okay.
yoga does not have to be serious. I've been in environments that could just, like, I don't know, pajama pants and like chocolate breaks. And I've also been in like yoga Nazi situations.
Oh gosh.
So
Yes, like Bikram yoga, where they're like, bring your leg up higher, straighten your leg. And you're like, I don't
yeah,
like
that was my
this.
experience with Iyengar yoga.
Oh gosh,
Turn
yeah.
your upper arms out. I don't even know what that is. Somebody help me. Do you have an anatomy course, please? Heidi's inflexible. If she could do it, you could do it.
Like, no.
Thanks. That's always yeah, my yoga instructor was never quite in that support circle for me. He wasn't ever in any of those roles. But yeah, so I am very grateful to having this conversation and kind of opening up a little bit. Had a bumpy start to my day, and so it's kind of smoothing out. I'm tapping into my inner force.
That's right.
Yay.
You got to tune into the force, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's go. We're going to skip no seriously, and we're going to go to the Yoda of affirmation. So we'll do one for you and one for me, and then one for our audience.
So this is the jar of Yoda wisdom.
Ooh.
So I have lots of Yoda quotes in here. Okay. So are we doing you first, Heidi?
Oh, sure.
Okay. The claw. The claw's going to go down. Grab one for you. All right.
I can't believe you actually pulled one up on your first claw grab. That never works. Oh,
okay. Ready?
Yeah.
At the very source of your being, you should be where these three reading Yoda quotes is hard.
Yeah.
At the very source of your being, you should be where these three things you can feel: goodness, beauty, and truth.
Ooh.
So at the very force of your being, you should be feeling goodness, beauty, and truth.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's a good one. All right. The claw. The claw for me. All right. The claw. That was my favorite scene in Toy Story. The claw has chosen. Oh, wait, okay. Wow. If this is how today's going to be, which one does it open on? Okay, you know what? I'm not supposed to have this one.
Ooh,
that's what that says.
Yeah, that one did not want to open for you.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Okay.
All right.
So what's interesting about this is I have been thinking about writing an article about the things that stress me out every day. Like I've been becoming
Oh.
aware of like how going to the gas station, especially if there's a line to the pumps, stresses me out. Like I'm going to hold somebody back, or I'm not going to get to the right pump, or I don't know. It's just stressful. And parallel parking, stressful.
Parallel parking is challenging. Yeah, I always look for the front end. I'm like, come
Yeah.
on, man, come on.
Yep, me too. And then when you come back and there's two cars on front and back and you have to kind of whittle your way out,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Reminds me of the
stressful.
Austin Powers movie where they got a golf cart stuck in like sideways in a hallway, and it's like,
Yeah.
I think it was like a 40-point turn they had to do. But I feel I feel very grateful that my dad taught me how to parallel park. When I was first learning how to drive, we would go around the same block over and over and
Oh,
over and parallel park between two cars. Like, I'm sure
wow.
is very painful, but I have already forgotten all the pain, and I still have all the lessons. I can still hear my dad in my head saying like, "Time to cut, time to cut. All right, ease it up, ease it up. All right,
That's
level it
cool.
out. All right, forward now." Like I still hear my dad in my head. So,
I think that's awesome. And I think he would be very proud to hear that. All
yeah.
right. So this one has opened up on its own.
Oh,
So do you think it's for everybody
yeah,
else?
maybe.
Tremendously beautiful life this life is, but only those who live it can know it. No other way there is. Oh, I like that. The
Ooh,
only way to enjoy this life is to live it because it is tremendously beautiful. That's what Yoda is saying. I'm
wow.
going to say it one more time. Tremendously beautiful this life is, but only those who live it can know it. No other way there is. I think that's a very nice way to end.
I love that. I love that. All
Yes.
right. Well, we're going to be. Oh, wait. So let me do this quick thing. So if you want to take your own Jedi journey, I'm starting peeling your onions. Going to go through all those 4 pieces of
Mhm.
that journey. So like the feelings parfait and the support circle and the mindset piece and the brave action steps. So all that will start on the
And
26th.
explain the analogy of why you're calling it peeling your onion. Explain that real
So
quick.
in my book, I had to have all well, in my journey in life, I had to have all these pieces in place for me to be okay with peering in on who I was and peeling off the layers of who I
Mhm.
was, like a mom and a daughter and a wife and like a fundraiser. So I
Mhm.
had to get comfortable. I had to have those tools in place to get comfortable, to peel those layers off, to find who I was inside and to see my joy.
Yes. We all have layers we need to peel off.
Mhm.
It's true. And this is funny. I'm going to add this in real quick, Heidi, because I just heard I was listening to an Enneagram thing, and she said Enneagram, she herself was an Enneagram too. And she said Enneagram twos are always relational. So they always um, define themselves by their relationships. So
Mhm.
she's like, it took for years. She was always like, I'm, in your case, I'm Barb's mom. I'm Stacy's wife, things like that. And it took her forever to say, I am, and then just her name, which is
Mhm.
actually Suzanne Stabile. I am Suzanne Stabile, not who she was in relation to somebody else. And so that's interesting to me that your layers that you're pulling off were
Mhm.
relationships to other people.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yeah, they were.
um, and we all have different layers. Just because you aren't a two on the Enneagram doesn't mean you don't have layers. You do.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're just different layers.
We all have different kinds of layers.
Hmm.
And you might have some feelings layers too that you're just hiding under, like
Hmm.
shame or like anger and stuff.
Unworthiness.
Unworthiness.
That is
Yeah.
unworthiness.
So
Yes, we all have them.
we all got some layers. And so the cool thing is you can go to that page and take a quiz and see if
Mm.
you are ready to take a peeling your onion journey.
Yes, it's
So
it's an awesome journey. I recommend it for everybody, even if you're feeling like you're pretty good. I think we always have journeys to take and always layers to pull off. I really believe that. So I still, even though I am like leaps and bounds from where I was, I know there's still layers, like stressing out at the gas station.
mhm. Yeah.
That's a minor layer, but you
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying.
we all have stuff, and these are tools you can learn, and you just use them over and over again to at
Mhm.
different parts in your life. Like, say you go through retirement, you have a new baby, and then your kids go in school, or then you retire. And so when you have these chinks in your life, like these big changes, you can use these tools to kind
Yes.
of like fill out and like refresh, like, who am I now? Like, let's refocus on the inside. Like, how can I make my life as most fulfilling as possible at this moment? So
I feel like that deserves an an amen, Heidi. I think that's true because life is always changing, and so you're
mhm.
always changing. Yes, I
Mhm.
love that. Well done.
Yay.
Yes,
Yay. Well, we are gonna be back in June, but we might be switching up the content, so I'm gonna hold off on saying what it is so we
it's
don't
gonna be a surprise.
surprise. But then we're probably gonna be going on break for the summer.
Yeah.
So, okay,
Yep.
good. I'm glad
Heidi's got
I
swimming
hope
to
we talked
do.
about that. Yes. But all right.
Thank you,
Well,
everybody, for coming and
yes,
watching.
and please, let us know all the good stuff on
Yeah,
how
and
you
even
do it.
though we didn't do it, please share your favorite Star Wars scenes. We'd love to
Yes.
hear them.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
for sure. All right. Take
Bye.
care, everybody.